Hi, my name is Erin.
And I'm Celia, and today on Cooking with the Best, we are going to do a special to show our viewers how to make a meal that the ancient Romans used to cook.
Before we introduce our ingredients, we should probably inform you of the background information of the food we are going to make. The common terms for breakfast, lunch, and dinner are ientaculum, prandium, and cena.
Breakfast usually consisted of a slice of bread, cheese, and a glass of water. Lunch usually consisted of cold meat, fruits, and veggies.
Dinner was the biggest meal of all. Today we are going to show you an example of a Roman dinner called cena. Cena usually has several courses.
This video will show 3 different dishes that will exemplify a common main dish, appetizer, and dessert. Our first dish is called stuffed dates. Romans loved dates, especially when they were soaked and stuffed in wine.
The ingredients that you will need to make this side dish will be presented in the next slide.
Alright, so the first thing you're going to have to do before even touching your ingredients is wash your hands.
However, since we already did this, we can get right to cooking. You're going to get 1 1/3 cup of dates, and you are going to place them on your chopping board.
The second thing you're going to do is get a 1/4 cup of almonds and a 1/4 cup of hazelnuts.
Now you're going to start slicing your date carefully along one side, and make sure that you get the pit out. It's very important that you get the pit out because this could be a choking hazard or it can chip your tooth, and it's just not a good thing to have in there. When you're done, they should look almost like this, with just like a little, able to be stuffed.
A little slit through it. After that, you're going to chop up the nuts that you have here, and you're going to sprinkle cinnamon along the side of it and all on top, and you're going to combine them afterwards. Okay, so after you finish cutting your dates and mixing your nuts, you're going to take a slitted date, as you can see, and you're going to start placing some of the nuts within the date, like this. I'd say 2 to 3 per date because they aren't that big. And you're going to close it all the way over. You want to make sure that it's closed all the way so the nuts don't fall out. After that, you're going to take some sea salt and you're going to pour it on a plate. And you're going to take your date and you're going to roll it within the sea salt. And your product afterwards should look somewhat like this. There you go.
Next, you're going to put 1/2 cup of red grapefruit juice into a pan. I already have put 3 tablespoons of honey, so I just need to put my last one in. Finally, I'm going to turn on my oven and put it on low. You want it to be on low because you're just trying to warm them up. Next, you're going to get your salted stuffed dates, and you're going to place them into the pan. You're going to put these on for about 7 to 8 minutes on low. After your dates have warmed up for about 7 to 8 minutes, you can take them out and put them on your plate.
This is what your final product may look like. Before eating them, be cautious because they could be very hot due to the pan in the oven.
Okay, so next on Cooking with the Best, we're going to be making the honey and spinach omelet. This is the main dish of the cena.
The ingredients will be shown in the next slide. So the first step in making your spinach and honey omelet is taking a 1/2 cup of spinach and tearing it up and placing it onto the pan. You're going to do this for about a minute until the leaves start to soften up. After this, you're going to take a little bit of water and you are going to sprinkle it on to your spinach. Not a lot of water, just a little bit. After this, you are going to remove the pan,
And while the spinach is cooking, you're going to get 4 eggs and place them in to the bowl. You're also going to get 1/4 cup of milk, and you're going to place it into the bowl. Well, when you're cracking these eggs, you have to be very careful that you don't get any of the shells in because that's not good. Finally, you're going to put the milk in and you're going to start beating them up. Make sure there's no clumps.
So previously to this I added in the olive oil and I've heated it. So now you're going to pour the mixture into the bowl. After this, you're going to add the spinach and you're going to keep cooking over low heat.
When the almond is cooked through, you're going to take it off and put it on a plate. Next, you're going to get 3½ tablespoons of honey, which I have done and I have already warmed up. And I'm going to pour it over the omelet. And finally, I'm going to put some fresh ground pepper.
This is the final product of our main dish.
The last and final meal we will be making on Cooking with the Best is going to be the dessert, or segunda mensa. In Latin, this meal is called libum, but it is a honey-eyed cake.
Prior to making this meal, you need to place the bay leaves and your oregano leaves in a bowl with your honey, and you need to place it in the fridge 2 weeks in advance.
Since we have already done this, we can get right to cooking. We are going to need to put the oven on 425 degrees Fahrenheit.
So the first thing you are going to do in order to make the honey-eyed cakes is take drained or cottage cheese and take about ½ pound of it and put it into a bowl and stir it until it becomes pretty soft.
The next thing you're going to do is take 1 egg and place it into the bowl. You're also going to take 1 1/4 cup of flour, and then you're going to whisk them carefully together. And then that's just about ½ pound. You can just stop that video. And then when we're doing it, when you're mixing that and I'm mixing this. So next you're going to mix the ricotta cheese and the flour and egg mix together. You're going to mix it together until it is a doughy mix. This, however, is very messy, so make sure you have
Washed your hands.
Yeah.
Also, after this is done and you mix it up enough, you're going to take out 4 bunch-shaped figures, I guess you could say, made out of the dough you have created, and you're going to place it on your tray.
Make sure the tray is greased before.
Okay. Alright, so you're going to place the 4 bun-shaped figures into the 425-degree oven. You're going to let it sit for 35 minutes until they get firm. After 35 minutes of baking, we are now going to poke holes into our honey-eyed cakes so that the honey will be able to be absorbed more easily.
They smell very good. We're going to easily take this honey and the herbs that we had in the refrigerator for 2 weeks, and we are going to sprinkle them over, and voila, we are done.
Finally, we have prepared the appetizer, the main dish, and the dessert.
Thank you, and we hope you watch us next week.
Frame them.